his 20 All-NBAs is more impressive than his 20 All-Stars.
20 is like impossible, though. LeBron being a 20-time All-Star is his most impressive accomplishment.
It's ridiculous. It's the 10 times in the finals during the modern era, in my opinion. Going to the finals 10 times in this era of basketball is his most incredible achievement of all, for sure. Getting to the finals is difficult, regardless of what you want to say about the Eastern Conference through some of those years. It's an incredibly difficult accomplishment year after year after year after year after year after year to do, to always be playing until June. An All-Star game, yes, it's amazing.
But you have to be healthy. Like, you have to be available.
You have to be healthy to be available for 10 finals as well. Until June.
I get it, but Kevin, you like
his 20 All-NBAs is more impressive than his 20 All-Stars.
20 is like impossible, though.
Yeah, but he will at the end of the year have an equal amount of All-NBA appearances too. That's more impressive than All-Stars, because that's 15 roster spots.
Take this into consideration, though.
This is ridiculous.
Like right now, Giannis has been to, I think, 8.
Yeah.
So he would have to go to 12 more in a row, and that would put him like in his 40s.
And to get to 10 finals, he'd have to go to 9 more.
Yeah.
I know you don't know about the finals down there in Memphis yet, but maybe someday you will. And you know how hard it is to get there.
What's his record in those?
4-6.
Okay. I was just checking. There's only 4 guys in the history of sports.
You'd rather get to, I know you wouldn't, you'd rather get to the finals and lose than just not make it at all. It's better to make it.
I think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Gordie Howe, Stan Musial.
Wait, what is this?
LeBron. These are guys that have been to 20 All-Star games.
Okay, all right.
Gordie Howe in hockey, Stan Musial, and I think Willie Mays as well. LeBron. And then Hank Aaron is like 25 All-Star games. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
25 is just absurd. But that's in all of sports. In all of sports, doing that. So
pretty amazing.
I know you're on his nuts about the finals thing, but
yeah, but how many players have been to 10 championships? What's the list for that? Did you compile that?
I don't know.
I don't know. How many short.
How many guys played in 10 finals?
Yeah, it's not many.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many guys had to get past Roy Hibbert.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. Come on. I think there were some other guys on that team, but Roy Hibbert was the big one.
Literally the big one. He was.
Literally
7'2".
My God, this Heat team, like, I'm never falling for it again. The like, what's wrong with them? You know, do they have some issues? Whatever. Like, we've just, if nothing else, we learned our lesson last year when they got into the play-in, and next thing we know, they're in the finals. You really never know when they're going to come out and give a big effort. And I felt like I was texting a bunch of my buddies, and it was like, all right, they're going to turn it up in the fourth quarter, and then you're either going to make some shots and not let them come back, or they're just going to get every stop. They're going to start treasuring the ball and playing like the game matters, but they're going to give about 15 really tough minutes to you, or 12 probably, and you're going to have to navigate through those. They'll try at the end of the third. They'll try at the first 6 minutes of the fourth, and if the game's in range, then they'll play it out. If it's not in range, then they'll just cash it in. But, like, I just thought that's a veteran team that doesn't care where their seed is. And so they are, to me, the absolute hardest by a wide margin to judge or evaluate during the regular season, because we've just seen this 1,000 times. And that is a credit to Boston, who does not do that. Like, on regular occasion, they give big effort. And they go in there and they smoke Miami tonight and beat them, run them off the court. And so, I'd like to think, that is super indicative of what would happen if they played big stakes basketball. But just after what I saw last night, it's hard for me to believe, because I'm like, man, this team, they give it everything they've got in the playoffs, but it is so few and far between that you feel like they give it all they've got until they get to that point.
I mean, you said it, like that last year they almost got eliminated in the play.
I know.
They were just in the play, and they were down in the fourth quarter to the Bulls. Like, it was almost all over in the middle of April before the playoffs even began for them. And they, I mean, who knows? We'll see how the standings fall for the remainder of the season. If they slip to 7, they'd be in the play-in again. It's not impossible that happens. But I think for Boston, they are, clearly in we are trying to run through everybody during the entire regular season mode. They're not letting up, except for resting Porzingis, which, I mean, he turns his ankle tonight. He said after the game he's fine. It looked worse than it actually was. But I'm sure he'll be resting even more often moving forward. But aside from that, Boston's been going full throttle. Miami's doing the same thing they've been doing for years now. I do think it is interesting how Jimmy Butler after the game said, like, we have to, get back to having fun. We have to find joy. How much of that is the fact that you're just bored during the season per usual, or how much of that is there is maybe something different chemistry-wise compared to recent years where they actually did make those runs? That's just something that I'm, keeping tabs on after he said that.
And you know what? And it's Jimmy can say whatever Jimmy wants to say. I think that team feeds off him greatly. And there's a lot of these games he may shoot the ball 10 times. Things that are never happening when the game has high stakes, right? He'll just kind of coast. He will.
Yeah, that's true. He had 11 shots tonight. He was 7-11.
He had 10 last. Or what do you have? He did. I don't know if he had 10 last night.
Yeah, last night he had 10. He was 4 of 10 last night. Well, here's his numbers during the losing streak. I'll just give you all 5 of the losses in a row: 6 of 11, 8 of 10, 5 of 10, 4 of 10, 7 of 11.
Perfect.
I mean, yeah.
That's why you can't judge anything they do.
Because during the postseason, he's shooting double 20 times per game. That's his average last year in the postseason, 20, the year before, 19. So, I mean, that's like a dramatic difference, Jimmy Butler's usage. So, I mean, in that sense, like, you're not reading into it that much, but they are really on a serious skid here.
And you know what you notice? They miss Jaquez.
Yeah. Oh, Jaquez is great.
They miss him, though. Like, it's just another guy. Once they lose him in the rotation, it's another guy they're down, and it's like he has been so outstanding for them. The shooting percentages. He's just, not only has he been so good, he's been so efficient. And so when you're extracting that from the lineup, it's just inevitably going to less efficient players than he. And then they got to try to figure out the Rozier thing on the fly as well, which is going to take a minute.
Of course. Yeah. Integrating any new player.